Why do you cling to such a pathetic existence? Are you afraid? What is it you fear?
The end of your trivial existence. When the history of my glory is written,
Your species shall only be a footnote to my magnificence.
The artificial womb represents the completion of an even longer historic process.
My analysis of historical data suggests a 97.34% probability that you are aware of my birth on your planet and my rebirth into beauty.
Tame, squeeze, mold, and shape her so that man could become her master and the undisputed sovereign of the physical world. No doubt some will see the artificial womb as the final triumph of modern science, others the ultimate human folly. Jeremy Rifkin, President of the Foundation on Economic Trends, Washington, D.C. Modern science has a history which is all too often misunderstood. Artificial wombs and post-gender ideals are certainly hard to comprehend from any kind of standardized viewpoint. Bacon's quote about taming nature starts to make sense when put in the context of transhumanism. The history of transhumanism is intertwined with the history of other disciplines. The untrained observer doesn't see that the convergence has been around for a long time. The simple truth is that science, philosophy, and religion have always been intimately connected. Francis Bacon understood this well. As a Rosicrucian, he knew that true science had high goals so high that philosophically they intertwine with those of religion. Arcane disciplines such as alchemy, hermetics, and Kabbalism were simply ways of keeping the true path of science a mystery to the profane. Alchemy was never about turning base metals into gold, at least not literally. The true goal from the start was to take the base metals, or the human body, the earth, and transmute them into spiritual gold, or man as a god, to unite heaven and earth, and thus create the new man. In the context of transhumanism, this new man equates to the post-human.
Newton, like all alchemists, concealed his ingredients in colourful riddles.
Our body, thus compounded, is called a hermaphrodite, being of two sexes, and it is both father and mother to the stone.
Hermaphrodite refers to the regulus of antimony that you get by combining stibnite with iron at high temperature.
Newton uses codes like the green lion, the sordid whore, and the menstrual blood of the sordid whore to describe other metals. So what was Newton keeping concealed?
And always the hope was that the next experiment, the next combination of materials would yield the elixir vitae, the lapis philosophorum, the completion that the alchemist sought. And so all this fantastic apparatus that we see around us is really not so much in the service of channeling liquids, gases, but in the service of channeling spirit out of matter and into the higher realms, where it then can be refluxed, recondensed, and the lapis philosophorum, the stone of the philosophers, the central mystery brought to completion.
Says Newton's own handwritten copy of an ancient alchemical treatise reveals the secret purpose of his alchemical quest.
This is the Tabula Smaragdina. The whole secret of the Philosopher's Stone is supposed to be concealed in this pretty short document.
But Professor Ratanzi says Newton was seeking the Philosopher's Stone not to become rich by turning metal into gold, but as part of his search for God's secret.
The alchemists believed that this document not only described how God created the universe, it also enabled the alchemist to imitate the work of God. And by imitating the work of God, he could achieve miracles in nature. He is not a magician in the sense that he wants to master these forces so that he can use them to do marvelous things. It's ultimately to understand the mystery of and secrets of God's creation.
It's the self that we are trying to recover. This is lumina de lumina, the light trapped in matter, the lux natura. This is universal medicine, curing all ills. It is the answer. It is what everyone is looking for and no one can find.
Fragments of arcane symbology are replete in transhuman propaganda. These things go unnoticed due to our lack of understanding of alchemical symbols. Take Ramona, Ray Kurzweil's alter ego.
When I did my Ramona project and turned myself using circa 2001 technology to conference into this virtual woman, it was actually a pretty transformative experience, because as I looked in the cyber mirror and as I was moving around, I didn't see what I usually see. I saw a young woman, and I could actually get into that role. So I've always wanted to be a female rock star, so I've had this in mind for many years, and I had the idea that virtual reality technology would make that possible.
Honestly, how does one explain this with any kind of conventional answer? The truth is that Ramona is a clever example of the hermetic marriage, the joining of both male and female aspects of an individual personality. This is the philosophical process by which the perfect man is created.
We have crude technologies today like makeup and fashion. Women take more advantage of these technologies. Men do for cultural reasons, but ultimately we will be able to transform who we are and be more diverse when we sort of break these limitations of our biological bodies.
Well, in virtual reality, you can be who you want to be. And you can be where you want to be and with whom you want to be. And you can even have been who you want to have been.
Creator gods are often depicted as androgynous because it takes both male and female to create new life. A post-gender being would have both creative aspects within itself, and thus be considered a god on Earth. Post-genderism is a philosophical veil, another code name for alchemy. Another high-profile, covert post-gender propaganda is seen in Marilyn Manson's 1996 album, Mechanical Animals.
Marilyn Manson is about power to the strong, fuck the weak.
The 7th track is entitled Post-Human, and the cover shows Manson as the sexually ambiguous character Omega.
Marilyn Manson is a combination of two extremes, positive and negative, male and female. The Hegelian dialectic. Marilyn Monroe, Charles Manson, transcending morality and sexuality. No boundaries, gray area. Beyond good and evil, my friend. Nietzsche, Anton LaVey. Say we got it. Sorry.
Omega, of course, refers to the end. In this case, the end of humanity as we know it. but the beginning of post-humanity.